Hi there, welcome to a new tutorial. This is Amit, and sorry for delay. I was working on a short film, not short clip actually, that I released on Instagram. You can check it out. And so yeah, that's why I was a little busy. So in this tutorial, let's talk about ground textures. So there are several ways to add textures. Okay, so if you did not add any texture, your ground will look flat. Okay, and only the texture or the shader or the colors would not make your materials look good. Okay, so you need to add some textures on your ground. Okay, so in this way, in this tutorial, I will show you guys how you can create ground texture, and there are some various methods to add textures. So in this video I'll show you the three ways to add ground texture, and probably the third one is one of my most favorite way to add texture to a ground. So let's get started, and if you're new to my channel, do subscribe guys, your support means a lot to me. And so yeah, let's get started. And first of all, you know what I am going to do. I like to do press select everything, then press X and delete. Then I'll be importing a plane. Actually I'll import the plane and scale the plane with the S, then press 8 to scale it 8 times. Okay, then I will go to the edit mode by pressing tab on the numpad. You can see here I also enable the screencast key, so you can see what key I am typing here. Then I'll subdivide the plane. Without subdivision you cannot add any details. Okay, let's make the number of cars to like 80. And now we have the mesh is now pretty dense, and it is perfect for adding details and adding textures. Okay, now let's go to the object mode, and I'll be duplicating this with shift D. Okay, and let's move it aside. Now let's talk about how to add textures. Okay, so in this method we are going to do three method. Actually I am going to show you. In the first method we are selecting some vertices, and we are using the modifiers. Okay, so for that I'll be going to the edit mode, and here I'll manually select some areas. With pressing C key I selected the circle selection, and here I am just selecting some areas. Okay, the dogs are barking in my area. Okay, so excuse me for that. Here I am just selecting some area here, and right now you can see, let's suppose these are the areas I want some bumps. Okay, some textures here. For that I have to go to this tab called the object data properties, and in the vertex group I'll create a vertex group, hit the plus sign and assign this area to this group. Okay, and I assign this to this group. Alright, now I go to the object mode, and here let's go to the modifiers tab. In the add modifier option I'll use the displace modifier, but before that I'll apply the scale. It is important because we scale this, otherwise the modifiers will will behave weirdly. Okay, so here now add a displace modifier, and yes, and click on new. Okay, and in the vertex group I'll be selecting the group that we have just created. Okay, and here you go, you can see it created some hollow area because we need to increase the strength. Let's increase the strength in the opposite direction, and now we have some bumps. You can increase or decrease the bump strength. Or now I'll be clicking this icon, and it will show the texture in the textures tab. Okay, now here in the type I'll choose like Voronoi texture. Here you can see there are some more textures here, like the musgrave texture. We have the wood textures, we have the magic, and so much more. Okay, we have the cloud, so let's go with the cloud, or maybe with the Voronoi. And in the strength, maybe let's increase the strength a little bit. Okay, now it is looks too sharp. Now for that, let's add a subdivision. Press Ctrl 2 to add a subdivision. Now you can see we have this like little bit texture here. Now I am going to reduce the strength so it is not so sharp. Okay, so here you can see in the ground we have right now we have some textures or some variations here. So this is one method, guys, and so let's try out another method which is called the same way but using the different mode. It is called the wet paint mode. So in the previous method, what we have done, just we have selected some areas randomly and assigned this to a vertex group. But in this case, when we are using the wet paint, when you paint on the surface, it automatically creates the vertex group. So here in this case, we do not need to create any vertex group for that, and the other part gonna be safe. Okay, let's choose the area. Like the red, we have the maximum influence, the red. Next we have the yellow, means it is the mid-level influence, and the green means much lesser influence. Okay, much lesser bumps will be there. Okay, so let's select some areas. We have I am selecting some area here, and now if I press enter, it automatically done this created the vertex group. If I go to the this object data properties, you can see we have the vertex group now. Okay, so previously what we have done, we have manually assigned the vertex group, but in this case when you paint, it automatically create the vertex group. So these are the only difference. Now as the vertex group is created, I'll be using the displace modifier now, and yeah, and click this new button, new options, and in the this texture tab I'll be choosing like the Voronoi texture, and in the modifiers I'll to choose the vertex group that we just have created, and add a subdivision modifier again with Ctrl 2, and here let's reduce the strength maybe a little here. So we have this kind of textures going on the ground, so it looks much cool right now. So this way you guys can add textures. Now I am going to show you my favorite way to add textures, which is using the sculpt mode. It is really a great tool. I did not know this before, but now as I am more spending my time on sculpting, so yeah, I like to do in this mode. Okay, I'll be deleting everything, or you can press H to hide them. Then let's add a plane here, and I do the same, scaling it 8 times, and I'll subdivide it like 80 again. And now we are ready to go. Apply the scale, and I'll go to the sculpt mode. Here let's choose some area, use the mask brush with the M key, and now increase the strength here, and let's randomly define the area where we need bumps or some textures. So here we are going to add textures. It is really a fun. Okay, so I love doing it. So let's suppose these are the some textures. Okay, so we need textures, otherwise things are not going to be look so good. Okay, we need some details. Control I to invert the selection, and now is the time for the magic. Go down. This is, I hate this. Okay, so sometimes it is not sliding down. Okay, so we are using the mesh filter tool here. Okay, so this is very interesting tool, guys, and very powerful tool. So in the filter types we have some more options. We have lots of options, like in the we have the smooth inflate. So let me show you what it means. By default the inflate brush is selected. By default the inflate type is selected. If I you can again with F you can increase or decrease the strength, and again if I drag right side, you can see it is inflating the area, right? And if I drag left, it is just intruding or pushing inward. Okay, So this is a cool tutorial, sorry, this is a cool way to add any textures. Okay, so but here you can see it is pushing outwards the whole area. Okay, so if you need some details, great details, there are types. Okay, there are filter types. Choose the random one, and what it does basically, it pushes individual, apart from selecting the whole area, rather than selecting the whole area, it selects individual vertices of each region and pushes up uh, and push it outwards. Okay, yeah, so this is cool. What happened to my English? So yeah, so this is really cool. Now if I drag this way, you can see it is this creating such kind of bumps. Okay, and it is looking pretty cool. Now if I want to smooth it out, here we have some options, like we can use the smooth option, or we can use the surface smooth. Both use pretty same, both let's use the smooth option. And if I drag right, you can see it is making some just averaging the overall extrusion. Okay, now I'll go to the object mode and press Ctrl 2, and here we go, we have this crazy textures. I like this texture. Okay, but we are not going to add any colors. Do I want any colors? No, let me maybe keep it for another tutorial. So here, see, we have learned the 3 ways to add texture, ground texture, and third one is my favorite one. And do try this out, guys. It is awesome, guys. It is awesome. So many people don't know this the third method actually. People know the first one and second one. Third one, I don't see anyone doing this. Okay, so if you are creating textures, try it out. Okay, and remember me also. Okay, bye bye, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I am on Instagram and I upload all my shorts and clips and breakdowns in the Instagram, and I just keep you guys updated. Okay, so I'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye bye, see you later.